Hello and welcome to the last garden tour video for 2022. We did get some really freezing temperatures this past week, but yeah, we're heading into cooler weather. So we got some like I said, below freezing temperatures, which killed some stuff off, but then it got warmer again, things started getting better, and now I think we're back into a steady down streak of cooler weather. So this will be the last kind of tour, and I also wanted to include some thoughts on how this garden year went. So here we go. All summer long, I've been thinking deeply about just how this year went in terms of my garden. I've talked about it before. This was kind of the first year where I took the reins, so to speak, on our garden. It's mostly been my husband. And I am so excited that it was a great learning year and it wasn't a complete failure. This is a rose bush for my daughter. She's been wanting one, and I found that one at Myers, and so I grabbed that for her. And I'll try to share a little bit more about the plants here, but I also wanted to share the reflections. We picked up some of these mums on clearance at Walmart, and once you deadhead them, you can see like new growth coming in. And so my sister sat down one day and just deadheaded a bunch of them, and they're growing so beautifully right now. I do think I have lost this blueberry bush, unfortunately. No, not this one. This is the good one. This one is Wick, which means alive if you enjoy books like Secret Garden. But Wick means live, and there's a green heart right there. So this blueberry bush will be just fine. This is an elderberry bush, and I think it will be okay. But I do have a blueberry bush in the back there that I'm pretty sure I killed. We'll see. But the basil's doing pretty good. As of today, however, the snow kind of killed it. I filmed this about a month ago. The pepper plant came back. I cut it all down and it came back, and I recently learned that you can put the pepper plants in the garage during the winter and they can come back in the spring, so I'm looking forward to that. These mums I planted last fall and they came up in the garden, and there's just a lot of beautiful growth here, and a lot of it is just dead plants that we planted and just checked to see what would come back. In terms of what I've planted in the garden and what did well, I learned that I was not planting enough of one thing. It was unfortunate. I wanted to really be better about that and get enough for our family, but I need to just be happy that this was a great learning experience, and just take that and roll with it. A lot of these are this is the flower garden, and this is my son's little fairy garden. He's so happy about that. But I'm trying to work on a lot of my flowers being useful flowers. I do like ornamental, but I kind of want some useful ones in here as well. And it was a huge project that needs a lot of work on. You can get so focused on making sure that you are rotating your crops well, and learning about how to do all these different plants and things like permaculture and mulching and composting, and that it can get almost to the point where, for me, all of the knowledge was kind of just sitting as a book ready to be opened and expounded on, for lack of a better word. This is the new garden bed, and this is the fall planting, so that's a radish I missed earlier this year. The zucchini was just chopped down. My son did that I think like a week or two prior to this, and the fall zucchini did so amazing. The summer one, not so much. The fall produced abundantly, so I will probably stick to more fall zucchini in the future. These are all on my beets. They are doing really, really well. Even now, we've had 2 snowfalls and they are still producing really well. All of these leaves that you see, I end up kind of hilling them with the leaves and kind of creating a good mulch barrier. And I just go out and pick what I need when I need. And then these are the carrots. And the carrots, they are a really good juicy carrot, even though I've messed up and have not been watering them as consistently as I should. I have to thin them out. Now you're going to see here in a minute, I actually get to the point where I can't I need 2 hands in order to dig them out because they were set in there very, very well, and I was just breaking the tops off. So I'm going to get in there and just dig them out. But the carrots did really well. Some of the things that I learned this year, I want to get back to that, was just the fact that I was doing a lot of different things and trying to build a good repertoire of things that I have planted. I think I shared already. No, I didn't. You'll see here in a little bit, like I share some eggplant. I wanted to try that in a place and it did really well. I was trying to do a lot of different types of beans so that I could use them to put nitrogen back into my soil. I was trying to learn, okay, each weed gives the soil something that it needs. So do I chop it? Do I pull it? What do I do? How do I do this? And it just, again, there was a lot going on, and it was a great learning year in terms of doing this mostly on my own and not just maintaining it for my husband. But I need to kind of really think about where I want to put my efforts. So like the strawberry bed, that took a lot of my time in the summer, but it didn't produce as much as I really wanted as my family. So I kind of know that strawberries are going to take a lot of time, not necessarily produce as much as I'm hoping. So I have to figure that out. Like I said, the green beans, we were getting enough for maybe a couple of meals and not a whole lot in terms of what I could put away for later. Same thing with the zucchini. Again, I just know that the fall zucchini was giving us adequately, whereas the rest of the summer one just, it was nice, but I felt like I dealt more with the bugs than I did making it worthwhile for the space that it took for my garden, if that makes any sense. We did some broccoli, and I would like to do that again because we barely got enough for a meal, and I only planted 3 broccoli plants, I think. So again, a lot of the learning was, okay, 3 broccoli plants don't give enough really for our family. We had sugar snap peas planted. I don't know if I'll show that to you because they're pretty much gone. And that was really fun as kind of a treat. You know, we'd go out and pick some just to kind of eat and snack, but not necessarily enough to bring in for a meal. But we were also using the sugar snap pea plants, like as they were dying and we weren't getting any other buds. We were actually using that to feed our bunny. And so that was kind of something fun to really plant in terms not just for us, but for the bunny as well. We would like to expand our bunnies. We have a male right now and we would like to get a female, but right now we just have way too many projects on our hands right now with trying to build a 3rd bedroom in our house. It just means putting up a wall, but it also means that my husband has to take time out of his school and out of his work and out of writing sermons that he is already doing in order to make that happen. Our car is out of commission again. And so he's going to need time to fix that and figure out how to do that. My husband is a mechanic, and therefore he doesn't really want to take it to a mechanic since he knows what to do and would like to make sure that it is done right and proper. But all of these things take time. It's why I ended up taking the task of the garden over. So bunny and families are just going to have to wait a little bit, and that's completely fine. But a lot of the produce here, we were trying to make sure that we could use to feed the bunny as well. Some other things that I was really trying to do was kind of figure out what we typically spend money on in the groceries and kind of try to supplement it. So like right here, I'm using a lot of the carrots. I have some celery in the back, and using those to kind of help supplement what I need to purchase was one of the goals, and so far it's working out well. I'm not using as much as I normally do, but the point here is to get better. And one of the things that I would like to get better at, since we're talking about this, is getting better at growing herbs. We use a lot of herbs, especially basil and cilantro, and I would like to get better about being able to grow that. I just showed you some kale. Kale I grew for us, but also for the bunny, so that was helpful for food for him. Here is that eggplant. Again, this was just something I wanted to try to do, and it was so much fun, and I did enjoy it. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't grow things that we don't enjoy. I think that's kind of fun to do and kind of keep that enjoyment of learning going, but I don't know that I want to use that space for the space and energy to grow things like that. Here I'm just showing, like, here's my lilacs, here's the other lilac, and here are all of the raspberry. I did not want to walk out there. And there is what's left of the sugar snap peas. Then we're going to walk around the house, and I'm going to show you the backyard. So these are all of the butternut squash that we have collected. I keep them back here because it's cool enough and it's just keeping them great. That is my garlic. The garlic took off like crazy. Last year I don't think we had anything until the new year, and this year it looks like that. There's some strawberries that I've been trying to grow for my sisters. Some of them did not make it. We'll have to try that again. And here is the messy strawberry bed and raspberry. So still working on that. Here is the broccoli. It came back a little bit, so that's been nice. These are what's left of the green beans, and I'm just dropping them back into the garden bed. These are the green onions. I am so happy about these green onions. This is kind of like my success because I have not been able to keep green onions going for very long, and they're still there, so that's great. Here's more raspberries. They are just, I don't know if I'll be able to transplant these, but whatever. That's my compost bin, and it's doing really well. And this is the celery bed. It's going great. This is what I thought was parsley and found out it was not that. It's celery. Here's one last little beet, and I'm just gonna take that and we'll make that for dinner in the next night or two. And those greens I can use in a quiche. They are very healthy. This is what's left of the boys' little garden bed. They had so much fun with this, and I'm so glad that I just kind of let them have free range in it, because now they are excited about what happens next year. And those little green tomatoes are what is left, and that little basil plant. So this is what happened with the garden and some of the lessons I learned. I tried to keep really good records, and that was a miserable fail. So that's something I want to work on next year as well. So thank you for watching today's video, and I will see you next time. Bye.